Recently, No Jumper owner and online personality Adam22 has had some pretty dark allegations blowing up against him, one involving dating a 16-year-old girl when he was just 21. Even Lil Pump, who pretty much blew up off the No Jumper channel and toured with Adam when he was just coming up, appears to have turned on him, and he said this about the allegations.
Adam was f***ing girls that was the same age as me when I was 16. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? You are a straight pedo. And on top of this, Adam22 has been getting into a lot of controversy recently. One case involved exposing his close friend and day one co-host of the No Jumper podcast, Lil Housephone, live on the podcast for supposedly having relations with a transgender.
Just because...
Lil Housephone ended out completely quitting No Jumper after the incident, and Adam has been shamed online for exposing his friend, with Housephone and a lot of the public suggesting that he did it all for some viral content. From being one of the most loved YouTube rap channels with millions of fans worldwide, to being a complete disaster that is basically just revolved around drama and only now really interviewing adult stars and average rap clout chasers, and the owner of the channel Adam22 now also being accused of being a predator. This is the downfall of Adam22 and the No Jumper YouTube channel. Adam22 created the No Jumper brand back in 2011, and after consistently working and growing the brand, he has pretty much solidified his brand on YouTube as the top podcast that interviews and showcases the lives of the best up-and-coming underground rap artists around. Adam22 really started to get a buzz back in 2016 when he interviewed XXXTentacion and Ski Master Slump God on the No Jumper channel, and this is when the brand really took off after the interview went viral and is now sitting at over 21 million views online.
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Today we're here with
XXXTentacion.
Around that time, the brand was focused more on BMX and vlog style content. However, after starting to see how popular these interviews were getting, Adam clearly saw the potential making a shift to making the No Jumper brand predominantly focused on underground rap artists. So he continued to go with it. The channel completely blew up as Adam continued to release more content, and his next extremely viral content involved the time when Lil Pump and Smoke Perp were just coming up in the SoundCloud era, and Adam released a set of vlogs where he took the two on tour, showing all of the antics that they would get up to behind the scenes. From here, Lil Pump especially would create a strong friendship with Adam, and he has continued to appear on the No Jumper channel over the years. However, this wasn't to last, and we'll get back to that in a second. Adam22's name would continue to grow and grow over the next few years, gaining him millions of fans worldwide. However, things were about to take a big turn. After a few years of receiving nothing but love from the underground rap community, Adam started shifting his content on the No Jumper channel. Instead of just interviewing the best up-and-coming underground rap talent and focusing the brand on that content, he started to include interviews and more general content with Instagram clout chasers and what would seem like the most controversial people he could find, all with an attempt to go viral. Now, don't get me wrong, this shift in content was working and would continue to get him millions of views. In late 2018, the channel went extremely viral once again after interviewing Instagram influencer Bunk, where he appeared on the podcast heavily under the influence and pretty much passed out on camera.
shout out to the homie Bunk. Oh my God.
However, these views weren't coming from his loyal fan base that he had built up over the past couple of years, but instead, the general public who like seeing more viral content suited to the average YouTube user. The problem with this was these people weren't there to stick around, however his loyal fans were. Because of this, he started to see less and less views as the content became more basic and no longer focused on his core that it grew famous for, and people started to lose interest. Adam started selling out, posting paid music videos from very average rappers, and it seemed that the channel would no longer care to provide people with content about the best rising rappers, but instead, anyone who had some money and was willing to pay Adam will get their shot on the channel. And things only got worse from here. In 2017, Adam made another shift in content where he started to interview adult stars, and his brand pretty much became predominantly focused on this stuff, with the odd interview of some kind of internet personality, maybe with some rappers time to time. The No Jumper channel also featured the Disconnected podcast, where Adam22 and his co-host Lil Housephone would speak on random topics with guests and provide the latest rap drama to his viewers. Things seemed smooth on the podcast, and it was very well known that Adam and Lil Housephone were extremely close friends. friends. However, this wasn't going to last, because just earlier this year, a fight went down between Adam and Lil Housephone on the No Jumper Disconnected podcast, live to thousands of viewers. The incident involved a previous episode of another podcast of Adam's known as Sledgelords with his co-host Danny Mullen. On this particular episode, Adam interviewed a transgender model known as Gracie Jane, where in the interview, Gracie speaks of hooking up with someone close to Adam22, and when she says the name of the person, the video mutes it out.
Oh, come on. You've already sold out entire life here.
Yeah, well.
However, people were able to determine what she was saying based off her lips, and understandably, fans started talking about the situation online. Housephone responded to the situation on a later podcast episode with Adam, confirming that he did in fact hook up with Gracie, but that wasn't the issue he had. Instead, he thought that maybe Adam uploaded the podcast intentionally forgetting to censor his name properly in order to gain more attention for No Jumper. And to be honest, this doesn't seem unreasonable considering the direction No Jumper has been headed for many years now. So anyway, the podcast goes on with the two arguing, and Adam brings up the fact that he paid for the recent funeral of Housephone's mum, and Housephone, angry at the use of his mother's name in the argument, gets up and throws his drink on Adam before the two get up in each other's faces, and the episode abruptly ends.
You're talking about, yeah, he's been going through the mom shit. He's been going through the health shit. You talking about the person that fucking raised me, that birthed me, my best friend that died? Oh, just he's been going through the mom shit.
But are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of all-
funeral as soon
first
as
of
it
all-
happened just because.
The show actually went live again a few hours later, and both Adam and Housephone were still there in a much calmer manner, where they appeared to maybe have settled the situation and talked about their stances on the argument. But this wouldn't be long lasting, because soon after, Housephone quit No Jumper after being years as a co-host with Adam. And since leaving the Disconnected podcast on No Jumper, co-host to Housephone on the Disconnected podcast, Lazzy and Yuri followed Housephone's footsteps, all leaving the podcast and creating their own new podcast called Reconnected. And fast forward to the start of 2023, some new allegations surrounding Adam22 have gone viral. The allegations come after content creator Pervbusters was on the No Jumper podcast with co-host Flacco before they started arguing, and ultimately Flacco ordered for the podcast to be stopped. Pervbusters clearly wasn't finished with what he had to say, and at the time he was also live on Instagram, where they continued to confront Adam about allegations of him talking to a 16-year-old girl when he was just 21. Adam walked into the room and Pervbusters continued to press Adam. This is what happened.
It was just in the midst of the conversation. It was in the midst of, he didn't, it's not on him on nothing. It was in the midst of the conversation.
But you came on my platform and spread lies like that?
Lies?
Lies.
Is it lies?
I mean, you could have done some research and figured out any.
Did you talk to her when you were 16?
19, for like 5 minutes when I was 21. I'm 39.
You wasn't 23?
I was. I might have been 21, right?
How you don't know? How you don't know if you was
Because
21?
it was 20 years ago.
It still happened though, but we can't take that jacket off.
Wait, right?
We can't take that jacket off for nobody.
Right? You gotta go.
Hey man, you know, let's go. Look, yeah.
So these allegations had actually been already put online a few years ago, but were quickly brushed under the rug due to a lack of evidence, and with original claims that Adam was 19 when he spoke to the 16-year-old. But from the video, we can see that Adam, who was unaware of Pervbusters being live on Instagram, admits that he talked to the 16-year-old when he was actually 21 and not 19, suggesting that he didn't know until he had spoken to the girl for the first time for 5 minutes that she was actually 16, and quickly stopped speaking to her. Regardless, the clip has gone viral online with millions of views, and a lot of people are supporting the idea that Adam22 is a predator, and that with this new evidence of Adam confirming he spoke to the 16-year-old when he was 21, that the situation needs to be looked into further. There have been a lot of allegations about Adam22 over the years, and with more and more people coming out with information supporting these allegations, it's hard to believe that Adam22 is completely innocent, and there is definitely some shady stuff that he has been involved with over the years of No Jumper. But as of now, these are allegations, and Adam has not been found guilty of anything, so I guess only time will tell what's next. If you like this video, check out this video on why this rapper's dad is snitching on his own son for murder.